Sixpence none the richer. There she goes. One visit to the lawyer. She's out the door.
Oh,
what a sad story.
I just think that song is rather apt as we talk about riches with our financial expert, Matt Nixon.
That's right. It's time for Financial Literacy 101. Matthew's with us once again. This is episode 8.
Where did the time go?
Where has it gone?
You see, when you are enjoying it, it goes really fast.
Absolutely. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you.
This morning we're going to talk about the 5 C's, and there's so much to talk about the 5 C's because I think everybody has a different opinion of the 5 C's.
We know what yours is, FD.
Yeah.
It's all food.
Char kway teow, chi kueh.
I insisted upon him adding chocolate somewhere.
And chocolate somewhere.
For me.
Yeah,
that's only for me.
Those are our 5 C's. A bit different from everybody else's.
But those are not the new 5 C's.
No. So, Matt, talk to us about the 5 C's.
Well, as we like to start off with, I like to quiz you guys on the 5 C's and kind of cover some related figures around the topic. So, so quiz question number 1 this morning. This one is around cars, so FD, you might be expert on this one. So in Q1 2025, Singapore saw a 35% increase in new car registrations compared to Q1 of 2024.
Okay.
Which of the following was the main factor for contributing to the rise? Was it A, lower fuel prices, B, increase in COE availability, C, reduction in car loan interest rates, or D, new government traffic regulations? Okay, see, there are 2 there that I'm not... Yeah.
But you would know better than me. That's what I feel. I'm going to go with C.
I'm going to go with D. Ooh.
Well,
no, we're both wrong. No. Both wrong.
What?
The actual answer was B, was an increase in COA's
really?
viewability, yes. Because I kept thinking about those, the discounts for electric cars is about to end and everything. Okay. Go. So it really shows the demand is still very strong. Very strong in Singapore for cars. Yeah. Okay, quiz number 2. Which of the following 5 C's is considered by Singaporeans as an investment option? A, condos, B, cars, C, country club membership, D, cash. I would say condos. Condos.
A.
Yeah. Technically, all the above could be considered investment options.
Oh. Okay.
But you're right. Condos is the most common. Just kind of recap, cash can be used as, small percentage in your bank account. Yeah. Country club membership, I understand, is that you can expand, you can sell it off, and you can actually kind of, as it goes along, you can add, like if it's $250,000 one year, you can sell it for $350,000. But yes, cars, you can buy the vintage cars, of course. I know a few friends of mine who kind of collect those as well. But really, it is around condos. And I think of one stat was in 2024, 3,700 resale transactions with a median profits of $290,000 on condos. Wow. So still has a huge impact on investment factor for that. So
right.
Cool. Yes. Cool. Okay, final question. This one's a true or false question. Singaporeans desire contentment as one of the new top 5 C's, signaling a shift in priorities.
False. We all need stress. Who doesn't love stress?
I would say it's true. FD, you are correct. I wonder.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Lavinia. It's true. So according to Harper's Bazaar Singapore survey, respondents ranked contentment as one of the top 5 C's now, reflecting on how common stress and distractions remain in daily life. So it's really showing the maturity in the market to where it used to be status symbols. Now we're moving towards things that actually are about quality of life. And that's kind of the theme that's going to happen throughout the show, is we're kind of talking about how the 5 C's used to be status symbols to where we are now in today's,
This is very interesting. So we're going to dive into it right now on our Facebook Live. Come and join us. Bring your questions along with us and hit to our Facebook Live video.
Okay, let's deal with this. The idea of the 5 C's, it's been in Singapore for decades, but I've never heard it used anywhere else.
Really?
I haven't.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I haven't.
I never thought about it.
I've never heard it used anywhere else. But here, it seems to be almost
the guideline.
Yeah, there's a chapter of it in schools. No, I'm just kidding.
There will be one day. But from your perspective, what did the original 5 C's represent economically, socially?
To go back to your original point, you're right. The first thing when I arrived in 2011, it was the first week I heard about the 5 C's.
No.
And I was like, just cash, country club, cars, credit card, condo. And I was told if you can achieve these in Singapore, you'll do very well with the ladies.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I started to really understand what is this all about. So when you start really looking into the aspects, it was that I think it was for that generation, it was really you've made it, right? That's what the original 5 C's were. So, and I think sometimes today, some of these will still kind of translate to, where, where things are. I mean, cash back then was more of it maintained a sense of control.
Right.
So I think that was really kind of prevalent. So no matter what, you can weather the storm as long as you have a hoard of cash. Credit cards back then were more of a status symbol, like privilege and access, where today they're more functional. I think country club membership, of course, was more networking, social standings, and belonging to a community. So they're very context specific. Where I think back in the day when these were around the 70s and 80s, there was fewer financial instruments you had, fewer opportunities and investments. So it really was that if you had these symbols and these 5 C's, it was really demonstrating the achievement that you've made it. It was more than just a long-term financial resiliency. So I think what we really want to concentrate is that the 5 C's were there, but they've evolved. So when they had the 5 C's where there were concrete, measurable symbols of security and success, different priorities have happened now when you get into today's age.
Right.
So the 5 C's originally signaled, I've arrived, I'm here, I've achieved what I need to achieve. Do any of those traditional 5 C's still even matter today?
But before you answer that, I'm just really shocked that, Matt comes in 2011, right? Within the first week, he finds out about the 5 C's and how it's going to help in his dating game.
Yeah.
Is that what happens for all expats who come here? They have this is the checklist.
Yeah.
Know that if you want Singaporean woman or you want to even be able to date, you must achieve all this.
It's true. When
Really?
they come into here, their passport gets stamped at immigration and you get this list. It's called it's called the Tangkap woman list.
But even the female expats get the list. It's just that, this is what to look out for.
In a man.
Yeah, in a man. Oh my God, no.
Yeah. So you have for the
That's
man
our
it's
reputation.
the Tangkap woman list. For the woman it's the Kena Tangkap list.
But on a serious note, yes. As FD was asking,
does any of it really matter anymore?
Okay, so I'll kind of go through one by one and how cash then and now. So then it was really meant that back then you had cash, you could buy anything. I think now you think of cash as there's inflation. It's if you hold too much, you're going to be missing on compound growth.
Yes.
And also, I think when you hold too much cash, it kind of shows that you're not too confident on what you should be investing in.
Yes.
So that's one kind of where, cash is great for liquidity. It's not good for legacy.
Okay.
So cars, symbolize, independence, then status, success. I would say now they're a rapid depreciating asset, unless it's kind of a vintage car. Yeah. But these days it's fuel, insurance, maintenance. It's basically cripples your cash flow.
It's paying up.
And I think what happens today is now that there's too many ride-hailing and public transport's improved over the years.
Yes.
You can get anywhere easily with MRT, and it's expanded. So really, it's just more of it's more convenience now than if you have the car.
Sure.
So I think it's just car. I think as car is a drain on your wealth.
Yeah.
It's really more a luxury expense than anything else. Yep.
Okay.
We're going to address the other three and also recap the first two as we go back on air. Remember, that Facebook Live question, answer it, and you'll win those dining vouchers from Eminami. Great Vietnamese place. So come and join us on air as well. Madness! As we think about chasing those 5 C's, even the new ones.
Sometimes I thought it was madness.
It must be love. It's really funny because we were talking on our Facebook Live and Matt was saying, within 1 week of coming here back in 2011, he was told about the 5 Cs and how it could bring him love if he had all 5 Cs covered. So, goodness gracious me, this is hilarious. Yeah,
it's the Singapore way.
Yeah, like you said, right, FD, you stamp your passport for the expats coming in and you get this list, the 5 Cs. Please achieve it if you want to date, right?
Yes.
So we were talking a little bit about the 5 Cs. We went through the first 2, which is cash. You mentioned that, back then, it was essential because you could use it to buy anything. But now it just seems like silly to have such a large amount of cash sitting in your bank account. Yes. With inflation, you don't take advantage of the compound interest from investing it. Yep. And the other one was car. Yep. And you said that it's more of a luxury expense right now because we have such a great public transport system.
And a cash flow drain because of the expenses of fuel and insurance and whatnot, parking.
Yes.
So
the next 3.
Next 3. Okay, so credit cards. I think back then, the owning multiple cards showed financial freedom and spending power. So now, in today's light, it's more of it's not a wealth maker. It's a payment tool. It's really, it leads to high interest debt, and overspending. So I think in today's financial health is measured by net worth and not by credit limits.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 4 is the condo. Property ownership is the gold standard in Singapore. I mean, that still is today. Yeah. I think condo is a bit more. I think where you look at today's world is that the HDB living. You get a bit more space. I've looked at a lot of these condos and my wife and I have kind of for the last 5 years, maybe before COVID, they just seem to be getting smaller and smaller, and they keep the price tag even for 2 bedrooms get bigger and bigger. So I think this one is, it's an appreciating asset. There is potential for rental income if you're using this as an asset. It can be portfolio diversification, but I think it's also that HDBs. You see some of what the renovations are being done now. The space you get, I think you get a bit more bang for your buck, in my opinion. Living in an HDB myself with my wife, I think when you see of what you could be living in a condo for that price, it's a bit more. The trade-off is actually worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
And finally is the country club membership. So I think back in the day, it was more the prestige, the networking, the social standing. I think for today's world, it's, there's a lot more have changed. I think networking's changed professionally.
Yeah.
There's social clubs that are becoming very, very popular.
Yes.
I think that private lifestyle focus clubs are what people are looking forward to.
Sure.
So, and then also beyond clubs is kind of, investing experiences. I think people are taking what they probably could have for these, for membership and then using those for your travel experiences. So they want something that they can actually go and do with family and friends more than that. And I think for country clubs too is that there is annual fees that you pay to, I think, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know a lot of people are playing less golf. So that is one thing as well. So those are kind of the difference between then and now with the 5 Cs.
I tend to worry about country club membership because as we've seen in the last couple of years too, a lot of these clubs are closing down and they've got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
that's true.
So that means they're dead and gone. They're off the market. Yeah. So if you're going to put money into a country club,
if it was meant to be an investment, right?
It's not. I don't think it's going to work for you.
You got to be super careful with it, right?
Yeah,
and really sell out before.
Absolutely.
So we can definitely see from you pointing out and breaking down those traditional 5 Cs how there's such a shift. We're actually going to explore the new 5 Cs and more. We are jumping back to our Facebook Live. And hey, everyone, don't forget to answer this very simple question. And that is, are you still chasing the 5 Cs? And with that, you could win for yourself $150 worth of dining vouchers from Eminami. Hey everyone! All right, back to the discussions. Matt just went through the traditional 5 Cs, which is cash, country club, credit card, car, and condo, and how that's really changed with time. And we're going to carry on in discussing and hopefully find out what these new 5 Cs are.
So, what changes in society or the economy have influenced how Singaporean defines a success today?
So I think there's major shifts that have influenced this. First is the cost of living has risen dramatically. So it's not longer an easily attainable milestone. Sure. You need to rethink what success actually means. And I think Singaporeans are balancing multiple financial responsibilities compared to probably what parents and grandparents had to do. When I talk about the aging population, the aging parents. So you're taking care of aging parents as a sandwich generation. They're funding their children's education, which gets more and more expensive every year. And on top of that, you got to plan for retirement.
We have told our sons.
That's a lot to handle this day. So, like I said, multiple responsibilities. I think the second is career paths have changed.
Okay.
I think technology and automation are actually making the traditional linear careers no longer guaranteed.
Yep.
And people need to be adaptable, continuously learn new skills, and sometimes shifting roles in industries. The shifting roles or industries, they have to shift multiple times in their lives. I think the generations coming up are going to have multiple different careers so that financial success is more about resiliency and less about status.
That is very, very interesting and so true. I've actually told my older 3 sons, if you don't get a scholarship for your studies, you can forget about carrying on your education. No, I'm just kidding.
I told my children that and it came true. Okay, so here we go. No, I'm only kidding. You've said that the 5 C's, the old 5 C's are dead and gone, basically. In your conversations with clients and people you deal with, what are then the new priorities or values that seem to be taking their place?
That's a good question. So I think legacy planning is very important, especially when you are talking to people in their 40s and 50s. Children's future and their well-being is top of mind. Retirement planning is very key between the 30 and 50-year-olds. Making sure you're on track for your BRS, FRS, ERS goals. Don't forget the beers, fries, and ears conversation. And I think younger Singaporeans are often prioritizing experiences over possessions.
Right.
So it's travel, it's personal growth, it's health, it's community. I think those are the changes. And another thing that I've really kind of come across, and it's not a new, but it's a trend that's really becoming. Have you heard of FIRE? This is financially for independence, retire early. So this is an aggressive movement where they are saving a significant amount of their income, sometimes for 50 to 70% at an early stage of their career, because they want to build and sustain enough wealth so that they can live and sustain enough to retire decades before the 63. I know 63 is the year of retirement in Singapore. So they are just living very frugal, but putting 50 to 70% of their earnings into investments and savings so that they can, and I think we've all wanted early retirement, but as you kind of become a working adult, you realize that it's a theory, but there are people out there doing this now that are doing,
So what, they're retiring in what, their late 40s?
Yes. If they're able to save that 50 to 70%.
Whoa. Wow, you've been doing that.
No, that's why
leaving.
I'm joking. I put my headphones back on. Okay. Boss, please don't fire me. I want to carry on working.
To be that boggles the mind to be able to save 50 to 70% of your income.
That's a lot. That's a lot of discipline to do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I hope they're still living well. You know what I mean? Like not extravagantly, but like please don't be so frugal and you don't take care of your health.
This is the other end. This is the other end of the scale, right? I've often believed that the majority of Singaporeans live beyond their means.
Yes, I get what you mean.
They spend so much money that they shouldn't be spending.
I get what you mean.
And it's so dangerous. You reach 55 and suddenly you go, ooh, it's all my money.
Yeah, and it's not a good feeling.
No.
And it adds to the stress, health issues. So this is where it's really kind of just a refocus and retool of what the importance is to you.
True.
And like it is, living within your means is not a bad thing. It's just it's just a mindset.
Yes.
You know, some of the things that you have the 5 C's represent are just to get there, and then you get there. Do they all make you happy? Does it really make you happy? But that's where you kind of need to check yourself to see where your priorities are. And I think that you've seen a lot this changed, in society now, in Singapore especially.
That is true. That is true.
If you could redefine what financial success should look like for modern Singaporeans, what elements would you include?
Okay, so I have actually created a new 5 C's
framework.
Hey!
All right, okay, let's go.
And this is really to take in what we've been talking about. So I've actually made a slide for this. So I know.
Yes.
Yay, okay.
So,
I love these slides.
yeah.
The Met slides.
Okay, so the 5 new C's, and I'll go through of why it matters, how, and I'll do a key takeaway. So first one is conscious spending. So why this matters today, so many people struggle financially, not because they don't earn enough money, but because spending is misaligned with priorities and values.
Okay.
So when you live and spend consciously, it emphasizes intentionality and how you spend your time, energy, and money, ensuring every financial decision has a purpose.
Okay.
So how do you do this? You track your expenses, you set goals for yourself. We talked about a couple goals last week.
Yes,
You evaluate purchases against the long-term priorities.
Yes.
So what you want to get to for the key takeaway for this one is that money without purpose leads to overspending. So being conscious with both finances and lifestyle creates a foundation for lasting wealth.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 2, coverage, why it matters. Financial security isn't just about earning or investing. It's also about protection. Unexpected events can wipe out savings or derail plans if unprepared. So how do you do this? You get your health insurance, disability coverage, your life insurance, your emergency fund, that 3 to 6 months emergency fund. On the investment side, you make sure you diversify. So the key takeaway is that coverage isn't just about avoiding risk. It's about a peace of mind, and it's your safety net.
Yeah, okay.
And it's really a non-negotiable pillar of smart financial planning. Okay. Number 3, I really like this one. This is compounding. So why it matters? Compounding is what quietly turns small, consistent contributions into meaningful wealth over time. So instead of relying on one big one-off wins, you let returns earn returns year after year. So in a high-cost place like Singapore, compounding is essential to outpace inflation and build real financial freedom. So how do you do this? You start early, you invest regularly, you reinvest all your dividends and gains rather than taking them out in cash. Use your long-term tools that we've talked about, your CPF, your SRS. Diversify your portfolio, getting the unit trust and ETFs. Robo-advisors are good because they'll just automatically invest for you. Also, talk to financial advisors can help choose suitable instruments and risk levels.
Okay.
But the real power comes when you're disciplined and contributing consistently and avoiding unexpected, unnecessary withdrawals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically make your money work for you harder than you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4 is connections. So why this matters today, I think a strong, diverse network allows you to gain insights and discover opportunities and access advice or mentorship. So how do you do this? You need to focus on relationships with people whose experiences and knowledge complements yours. So attend industry events, join professional or lifestyle-focused clubs, maintain genuine relationships with colleagues and mentors. So investing time in meaningful relationships, I think, is a form of financial planning because the right network can accelerate your learning and financial growth in ways that money alone cannot.
This is very interesting. This crosses over with a lot of what career people are saying. So it really is about who you know.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
Hasn't that always been the case?
Yes.
It's not about what you know, but who you know.
I think more so now than ever.
Yeah, you really need to be tapped into your network, and it's when you're having those coffee catch-ups and lunches. It's really talking about meaningful things. What's going on in the markets, where your job is going, because, like I said, the job market in Singapore, it's changing rapidly. So you need to have the pulse on what's coming. Read the news. If we talk about layoffs, which are quite scary.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared for these scenarios and having. It's not really gossip. It's more of like being connected. I think if you're more of a junior staff, really reaching out to your directors, your MDs, having that relationship. There's a lot of reversal mentorship going on in companies now where the managing directors and directors are now talking to the junior staff.
Okay.
And these conversations are happening so that they know what the generation below them needs to be fulfilled in their careers.
Right.
So there's a lot of these conversations going on within corporations at the moment. So
I mean, don't see it as, like some people say, networking and all that. They may be a little bit like uncomfortable to do it, but it's more about knowledge acquirement.
It is knowledge acquirement,
Yes.
Okay.
And
Back to the slide.
Number 5, yes, the last one is continued learning.
I like that.
So why this matters, I think careers today are evolving rapidly, like we were just mentioning. So roles that were in demand a few years ago may no longer exist while new opportunities emerge constantly. So stay relevant and advance professionally. You need to continually learn and adapt.
Okay.
So how do you do this? There's multiple ways. You can go back and get formal education, online learning platforms, workshops, practical experience. So even small, consistent learning efforts compound over time. So focus on courses, workshops, learning experiences that align with your natural strength and career goals rather than simply following popular trends. So I think the key strategic intentional learning compounds over time. So, yeah.
That's interesting because that follows then exactly what the government's been telling us to do for years.
And what they're actually trying to get us to do with all those Skills Future credit. Please, $500 will be expiring by the end of this year. Go
she
and
knows
redeem
this
it.
for sure.
Go and redeem it. Okay, make sure your course starts 31st, latest 31st December.
Yes,
okay, I've been
very
checking
true.
out this. I'm trying to find the right course for myself. But more so I would do now, especially after hearing from you, Matt.
Yeah, I think the higher skills and knowledge translate into higher earnings potential and better investment decisions. True. And it also gives people confidence and credibility, that you can actually career progression can provide you more choices while you actually learn.
True.
So I also wanted to throw in, I know there's 5 C's, but there's 2 more I kind of wanted to kind of portray this. But one was, I think, for adults now is continuity, which is legacy planning, which we've discussed. But I really want to talk about children. I think children is one of the big, because if you really look at the amount of time that parents spend, and I don't have children myself, but you guys know.
I'll lend you mine if you want, Matt.
I know you got your hands full.
No, please take them.
Tell me about it.
It's the amount of the question has always been, and I think I've started talking to colleagues about this, even 15 years ago. For how much does it cost to have children in Singapore?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I came across this stat and this rule of thumb.
We'll share that in just a bit because we're going to go back on air and also recap these new 5 C's from Matt. Hey, hope you enjoyed that throwback here on the Morning Drive, and we're in the midst of our financial literacy one-on-one with Matt Nixon, and on our Facebook Live he revealed his new 5 C's, and I think they're really, really great.
Thank you.
And it's available on the slide that Matt did. We all love Matt's slides.
Matt's slides are awesome.
Matt's slides are the best. They should be in schools everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can find that also on our video if you want to really have a good look at what these 5 C's. So can we just do a quick recap on what these 5 C's that you've defined for us? We've got, I know that the last one was continued learning, and I like that, but here it is.
So, conscious spending is the first one. Coverage, so this is protection that you have against illnesses, accidents, or market turndowns.
Okay.
Compounding, so this is building your little nest egg often and frequently. Doesn't matter how much it is, it's just the repetition of getting it done and making sure you're really making your money work harder for you.
Yes.
Connections, so this is networking, having mentorships, and then like the last one you said, continued learning, always upskilling, learning. It doesn't mean going back to university. That is one way to do it, but it's just using, like you said, the
Skills Futures,
online courses. There's so much information out there these days.
There are always stuff that's available within your organization because a lot of them are also, taking the government's lead in wanting to upskill all their employees. And then you can also just look outside online courses. You don't have to take a 1 whole year sabbatical just to do it. You can do it concurrently. And you said that there's actually 2 more you wish to add.
Yes. So we won't go too much into continuity, which is legacy planning, but children. Children is the other C that is, I think, very important in Singapore.
Have they become a status symbol because they're so expensive?
Well, I think it's more the expense and the cost. So, just really some numbers I saw were just outstanding. So, from the time that they're born to adulthood. So, what are parents going to spend? Because I've always asked this question. So one was the low ranges. It could be around 200 to 300,000. That's for public education with maximum subsidies.
Sure.
Mid-range is 300 to $500,000, and that's public education with moderate enrichment. Then it's the high range, which is $500,000 to $1 million plus, if they are in private international education with extensive enrichment. So if you're aiming for a normal but comfortable upbringing, assume around 250,000 to 350,000 per child over 20 years. That's roughly 900 to 1,200 a month on average for over 21 years.
Levy, multiply.
Yeah,
multiply
I
by
know
4.
I brought them into this world, whether they wanted it or not. But I think I would go home today and I will look at them and I'll be like, are you worth 250,000 at least?
If you're not, you're going up for sale. Black Friday's around the corner. Okay. Finally, Matt, just one final question.
Yes.
What do you think Singaporeans are overlooking?
When they're thinking about, long-term
I think there's 3 things I want to focus on.
Okay.
One is long-term planning and financial foresight. So I think the short-term mindset is right now really risky in high inflation environment. So I found a stat that through Sun Life, 90% of Singaporeans feel inflation pressure, yet more than half, 50%, 57% lack a financial plan that stretches beyond 12 months.
Wow.
So we really need to start doing long-term planning. Financial literacy is another one. So this is not just investing, but it's for everyday risk. So 55% of Singaporeans admit to being confused by financial jargon like yield, capital, and principal from the study I found.
Yes.
So it's really learning. The lack of clarity isn't harmless. There's risk to poor decision making, underinsuring, misunderstanding risks. So really start building up your financial literacy, which I think that there's many ways to do it. Us talking about this today is financial literacy.
Yeah.
What you talking about? There's only one way. Tune into our financial literacy one-on-one. Hey,
And the final one is number 3 is self-reliance and discernment in financial advice. So this is something I found was really kind of shocking. So FinTech News reports that 51% of adults now rely on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for guidance.
Really?
So this is through FinTech Singapore article. So not all content is reliable or regulated.
Okay.
Or over-reliance on fin influencers can lead to suboptimal or risky financial behavior.
Yeah.
So you really need to know the advice you're getting is actually good advice. So I think trust plays a big role in how financial decisions are made. So really find someone that you trust, friends, family members, financial advisors. I think 42% of Singaporeans also say emotion and trust influence their decisions significantly. So it really shows that they need to talk to someone that they are really able to kind of open up to.
Right.
And I think the sooner you start, the better it's going to be. And really just double check the information you're getting online, because
that's a good point.
sometimes it's too aggressive, or it's the facts behind it aren't justified.
Yep.
So not saying stop altogether, but just double, triple confirm, talk to other people, go to other sources, more the educational sources. So those are my tips right there.
Really check if it's a scam. Really. Yes. So actually that, what you've just said actually brings up what we're going to address in our next episode, which is things to look out for when you want to engage a financial advisor, right? One of the key things is, trust, and also looking into that. So this is a really good lead up to our next episode. But thank you so much for, really taking those 5 C's that, I grew up learning that 5 C's.
I like the new 5 C's.
Yeah,
though.
the new,
thank you.
actually 5+2.
5+2.
Yes, 5+2.
Yes,
I do like it. So, guys, check out the full video of this interview and this episode on our Facebook Live. You really need to know, and it's really going to shift your thinking and make you change the way what you're going to do with your money, right?
True enough.
Yeah.
True
so,
enough.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks, you
once
guys,
again.
as always, I love being here.
Oh, stellar episode. And your slides. Oh, I love it. All right.
We'll see you again next week, Matt. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Good times, greatest hits. 1FM.